welcome back, everybody. We are getting ready to start the full free agency period for the 2025 season, our second season with the Hawaii Jazz. This is where the big rebuild, hopefully, will start to take place. I realized after the fact there was one other thing I wanted to do for my own personal free agents, and that is I do think I want to re-sign Sam Darnold. I know it's an investment for a backup quarterback, but one of the things I like about him is that he's a mentor to quarterbacks, so he's good to have on the roster for JJ. So let's see. He wants his cap hit is going to be a little bit less than $5 million this year. Have him on staff for 3 years. Now, in past iterations of front office football, I've done a lot of manipulation with salaries, but it takes a little bit of time to make it, because they refuse the offers, and then you got to adjust it a little bit, and it's just not gonna. It takes a little bit of time, and it won't be good for video. So I'm not gonna be messing with that quite as much. If something's way out of whack, and I think maybe I can do something, I might do a little bit of manipulation. But I think most of the time I'm going to give them what they want, and hopefully my cap space will not suffer because of it. So we're going to sign Mr. Darnold because he's a good guy to have on the bench, and he will be a mentor to McCarthy here for a few years. We're not going to worry about Mullins, especially because he was an idiot and got himself suspended last year. So, all right, so that gives us 30 players going into the full free agent period, and so we're now looking at a cap space of $61 million. It's kind of right there in the middle. Our number of players under contract is 30. When I advance, these numbers are all going to change because there's going to be people that are being cut. You got a bunch of several teams that are way over the cap. I mean, you look at the Peterborough Lords here; they are $56 million over the cap. So I guarantee you, they're going to be cutting some folks. So let's just go ahead and advance and see where we end up. All right. So we now have a high of 36. We're now up in. We've got a team that has up there in the leaders of having the most people under contract. Full cap, so you got a lot of people that created a lot of cap space. We did not. We're still sitting at 61, so we're way down below. But let's try to see what we can do here in the free agent market. So looking at what we have and what we need, let's just filter to only signed players. Running back is a big need for us, but I don't think we're going to fill that through free agency. Tight end, we're good. We might, as I was thinking about it, I'm wondering if maybe it might be a good idea to try to move Josh Oliver, see if we have any takers to maybe pick up a little bit more draft capital. Top tier of receivers, I think we're okay. I mean, I'd like to have a better number two, but I think with our cap space, we're not gonna be able to do a whole lot there. And then offensive line, we're average. We could probably improve that. Look to do that possibly in the draft. Our defensive line, we don't have hardly anybody under contract. So I think this is why in the mock draft, they think we're probably going to take a defensive lineman, and they may be right. And then so defense, we've got kind of a core here, but we do need to pick up some pieces there. So we might be seeing a lot of that in like rookie free agents. But again, I mean, they are looking at us probably. Let's see, we got running back. Well, now everybody thinks we're going to take a running back, and again, they may not be wrong. So we'll see how that plays out. But let's go back to the roster. Actually, wait, let's go see what our top free agents are. So one of the cool things about the new iteration of front office football is that I never knew when I was bidding on free agents. I never understood why. You had like 12 periods, and some of them would sign immediately, and some of them you'd sit there and wait on. But this kind of gives us a little bit more of an expected time for signing. So we know that the urgency is on these players that are in red here. They're expected to sign today, first day of free agency. So looking at these guys, I don't know if we're going to go, uh, this bold in the free agent market this year because our space is limited, and we want to make sure that we can sign a lot of players and maybe find some value. So let's see what we have and what everybody is demanding. So let's just take a look at Zach Allen here, and he wants a cool $12 million. That's actually not horrible for a starting defensive lineman. Good pass rusher, good defensive diagnosis. Might be someone we we might think of trying to just throw a bid out there. Let's see. We got Cooper Kupp. He's probably going to demand a lot of money. I'm probably not going to be going after a wide receiver, but let's just take a look. Yeah, he wants a lot of cash. So I think with our cap space, we might be able to make one, maybe two mid-size bids. So let's make sure we plan wisely. I don't want to get down into like when we're starting to get into the upper fives and these guys are wanting a lot of money. Hopefully we can find some value in there at a couple of mil for some decent pieces. But let's see. I also don't want to sign a whole lot of old guys. Sometimes that might be might not have a might not have a choice depending on what I have left and but we'll see. All right. So what does Lucas Patrick want? He's a guard. He wants about $12 million. I think that's our splash. I think that's our one big splash amount is somewhere around that $12 to $14 million range. So if we can get a defensive lineman like a Zach Allen, I think we're going to be doing ourselves a favor. So let me look at him again. And not decent pass strength. Technique is good. Run defense is good. Defensive diagnosis. Those are the things, you don't need to worry about coverage for a lineman. Endurance is a problem, though. That's one thing that I have noticed is that if a guy has low endurance, he may not end up your starter. And you may wonder why, and probably has to do with the fact that he can't play the whole game. So we might want to look at a different option here. Let's look at Tanoa, and I can't pronounce this last name, Passignon. And he's got about that same endurance. Kind of the same type stats, a little less than the diagnosis, and he wants about the same amount of money. So I don't know that we look to bolster our defensive line through. Get a big time defensive lineman here. We might think about. Let me see. DeForest Buckner is probably going to want too much. He's a 10-year vet, but he can play 3-4 D end. All right, his endurance is much better. Not as good a run defender, but I mean he could be a good piece. What does he want? Yeah, see, and because he's a savvy vet who's had some all-pro seasons, probably he's wanting more. I don't want to pay that much for him. All right, so I don't think we're going to get any of these top-tier guys. I don't want to go Max Crosby. 3-4 weak side linebacker might be good, but again, he's probably going to be asking like 20 mil a season. Oh, my goodness. Are you serious? Okay. I might be rethinking this. Because at 10 mil to get a guy of his disruptive nature, that might be good. But let's see, loyalty is a 12, so hopefully that means he's not going to worry about staying with his team. So let's look at this contract. All right, so here's where I might manipulate just a little bit. Okay, because other teams might be coming in and trying to get him. So let's see. If I go 47, we got a three-year deal here. Let's go 10 mil. And then, so that's maybe a little bit more in that first season. And then we'll keep everything else the same. Let's go ahead and make that offer and see if he likes what we're throwing at him. All right. So at this point, I'm not worried about making offers for other people because they're not going to, very rarely is someone going to sign early. So we're going to see what happens on day one. And then we'll start seeing what's left over and maybe plug some additional pieces in there and then look to finalize the roster after the draft in the late free agency period. So let's see if he takes the bait. Let's see, Crosby signed with Denver. Yeah, okay. He signed with Denver. That's a bummer. So he didn't like our offer. All right, so we lost out on him. So let's take a look at what else we might be able to do here. All right, again, looking at our roster. Again, looking at signed players. Again, I running back. I'm not gonna worry about trying to sign one here. We got some good depth at guard, even though we don't have a stud at guard. We've got decent starters at tackle. We could possibly look to get a better starting center. And then what's our contracts look like? So, yeah, if we get a better starting center, we might be able to cut Bradbury loose. So let's take a look at that, shall we? Let's take a look at center. There's not anybody super great. Oh, wait a minute. What is this? Why wasn't he showing up? Okay, so he wants 11 mil. And let's see. We got some older players here that might be cheaper. So we might want to think about that. We also have this guy down here might be an interesting prospect. Sammy Turrentine. He's got great blocking strength. Gonna get better in technique. His endurance is good. Yeah, all right. Well, let's... Oh, no offer can be made until late free agency begins. Okay, well, that's an issue. That's probably why some of these guys aren't showing up, because they're actually on a team. But why? It says available players, so I don't know. I don't know why it would show them as available if they're not available for me to put a bid on. Let's just see what happens when I click on Bozeman and look at his contract. See, I can offer him a contract. I guess the other guy's a restricted free agent, so I can't offer him a contract because he's restricted. Okay, so this guy wants $7 million a year. He's an 8-year vet. Not a lot of endurance. That I don't like. I like to have guys that I know are going to stay in my starting lineup. I don't want to spend $11 million on a center, even though this guy is pretty dang good and would be a good anchor. Let's see what happens in late free agency with centers. All right, so again, going back to our roster here and our signed players. What's a big need? What's a big need? I mean, defensive line really is a big need. I really think we do need to kind of make a splash there. We could also go for an inside linebacker. We've got starters at our outside backer positions. We've got one good and one decent cornerback. We got a good free safety. We need a strong safety. All right. So going back to free agency, we've got some corners here we could look at. Top safety is Hufanga, and he is outstanding. I would love to have Hufanga on my team. It's a big contract. Could be worth it. Could be worth it. He had 2 interceptions last season, 129 tackles. See, run stuffing, strong safety would really be a nice find. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and make the offer. Might come back to bite me in the butt, but he had the stats. He was looking like exactly the thing our defense needs. So then back to 3-4 defensive ends. These guys don't have a lot of endurance and they want too much money. DeForest Buckner's already signed anyway. Zach Allen, what did he want? He wanted 11 mil. Just for that amount of endurance, I don't think I want to do that. So we're going to pass on that, and so we're going to advance this a little bit here and see what happens. Hufanga, still outstanding. Today's the 24th. He's going to sign on or around the 26th. So we are going to run till then, because none of these other people we're going to actually get. Well, let's just take a look at Jamin Davis here. Yeah, no, he's doesn't have the stats I like. So let's advance one more day. And it's the 26th, so this should be the day that we're going to see whether Hufanga, we're his only offer. So hopefully that's a good sign that he's going to like us, and he is going to sign with Denver. Again? Denver, you suck. Denver stole him. Just outbid me by about $5 million. Well, okay, so we lost out on him. So now we're starting to scrape the bottom tier of the top players, basically. All right, so let's look. We got Leonard Williams as an 11-year vet. I don't know that I want to. I mean, maybe he's a temporary plug-in. How much does he want? He wants $3 million. You know what? As a stopgap, I can pay him $3 million for 1 year. I can do that. All right, and then we didn't get Hufanga. There's not really any other top-tier safeties. You got Javon Holland, who he's a good pass interceptor, average at a lot of the other things. But what does he want? What does he want? Yeah, see, he wants too much money for his level of play. So we're not going to do that. Who else is in the top tier that hasn't signed yet? All right, we got Chris Jones. We already have a nose tackle. We're running that 3-4, so we don't need another nose tackle. Cortland Sutton as a receiver. He's going to fumble a lot, apparently. Yeah, no. I think I'm going to build receivers through the draft as well. All right. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. We have one offer out there. I don't think we're going to do a lot this free agency, because we're going to end up in this zone where we've got some average folks, and I don't want to overspend too much. So let me just look at a couple of these tackles and see if there's anything we might be able to do with guys who don't want a ton of money. Nope. All right. See, I like when you do find a player, it tells you what they want. Right? It tells you what they want. But as we found, I can't tell if they're actually able to sign or not. So, like, if we look at this, we got Brian O'Neill. All right, so this guy right here, Caleb McGarry. All right, he wants $2 million. He's a 6-year vet. He's a 57. So let's see. He might have some. Yeah. See, he doesn't have a good pass block rating. But I wonder if he might be good to have around as a backup. He's very loyal. He's very popular. He wants a winner. He's got great leadership. He's very stupid. And he has no personality. But yeah, as a backup tackle, might not be a bad idea. Let's see if we can get him on our team. All right. Looking at some of these other guys down here. Nate Hobbs already signed. Let's see. Marco Wilson, cornerback. Not real good on run defense, but zone, man-to-man, decent. He's a good special teamer. And he's not real expensive. All right, let's look at our roster here again. See what we have in corners. Yeah, I really need that safety. And I also need a weak inside linebacker. All right. So going back to free agents, we need a weak inside linebacker. All right. Bobby Wagner is an inside linebacker. He's a 14-year vet, though. Holy heck. He's good. 1-year player, maybe. Maybe a rent-a-player. Let's see if he'll join us for a year. I want to build the team. I don't want to have too many rentals. But, you get a vet like that has a good presence that you can maybe get for cheap. Maybe his ratings won't go down too much in the off season, and he might be worth something. All right, what else can we look at here? We were looking at Marco Wilson, free agent cornerback. Is he an upgrade from what we have? And I think there's an argument that he is. Plus, he's a good special teamer, so that might help us as well. Let's see, and he didn't want a lot. We're going to go ahead and make an offer to him. Try to shore up our defensive backfield. All right, so we got offers out to a tackle, middle linebacker, defensive end, cornerback. The linebacker and the defensive end are a little old, but we'll see. All right, so let's look at these guys again. All right, so we got a restricted free agent here, Gregory Edgerton. I still feel like he wants too much for what he is, which is just an average run stopper. So I just want to look at these restricted free agents that we kind of still have some control over. All right, he's at 35. I don't care about him. Theo Jackson, I think, was decent. No, he wasn't even decent, so never mind him. Tristan Jackson, all of my receivers were garbage, so not really. This is a guy I think we picked up. He was an injury replacement. He's good pass rush technique. I mean, it might be interesting to have him as a specialist. We only had him for 2 games, but he only wants $1 million. Let's try that. Let's see if he works out as a pass rush specialist. Sammy Reyes. We don't need another tight end, I don't think. And I think he was garbage. Yeah. Yeah, let's try to address that a little bit later. All right. And then Tatro, our running back that ended up getting us 600 yards. He's okay, but not great. Might be good to. He wants a 3-year contract. I'm not willing to give this guy a 3-year contract. All right, so there's some restricted free agents that we looked at. Not really anybody that I think we're too worried about. I want to. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. Let's take a look at punters, because our punter was really kind of sucky. And when he filled in for our kicker, wasn't that great. Let's see. What does everybody want? $3 million. I don't want to spend that much on a punter. Do I just go for the scrub? Let's see about Dwayne Mullen. I can't because he's restricted. All right, we're gonna wait on punter. We might sign a punter before the season begins. All right, so here's what we got offers out on. Let's go ahead and end. All right, did we get somebody? I don't know. Hard to tell. Where can we see what free agents we've actually signed? Oh, free agency right here. Okay, yeah, that's right. I knew there was a screen. All right, so McGarry is decision pending. Yeah, see, nobody wants to sign with us. Why does nobody want to sign with us? Am I not offering enough money? Do I have to go? Well, I mean, even Tafanga, I offered a little bit more and he didn't sign. All right. Well, nobody wants us. That's disheartening. All right. Let's see. Gosh, see, Leonard Williams signed by. Nobody wants to sign with us. I haven't had this problem before, so this is kind of new. This is kind of new. That I'm not getting anybody to. I'm not getting any free agents. So let's keep looking here at what we might be able to do. Chase Young. Oh, all right. He doesn't want a whole lot. And I can convert him to a weak side linebacker, maybe get some additional depth there. Okay. Let's try to see if he'll come with us. Maybe give him a little bit extra on the signing bonus. We'll give him 15 or 1.5 mil. Maybe that'll appease him. All right. All right. So decision pending for McGarry. Decision pending for Bobby Wagner on April 2nd, and decision pending on Chase Young. So these two we should know today. Give me something. Ah, there we go. We got our tackle. Hey, and we got Chase Young. Okay. All right. Well, that's a little bit of something at least. It's a little bit of. I feel a little bit better there. All right. So let's see what we're looking at now. All right. So we have a defensive end that can start. This guy wants to be an outside linebacker, though, too. So we'll see. We might keep him here at defensive end. And we'll see when we do training camp whether we want to move anybody around. All right. So we got 33 players under contract. I think at this point we got 54 million. I think everyone else is going to kind of be mid-tier people. We might be able to see. That's the other thing too. I mean, it sure would be cool if we could filter this to see just who's left. Don't really want to spend money on a wide receiver. But getting some more weapons might not be a horrible thing. Yeah, let's see what he had. 1,100 yards last year, 95 catches, 10 TDs. Okay. He's a mentor as well. That might be good. So let's see if he might like to play in Hawaii. All right. He does. He wants to play in Hawaii. Good. Okay. So let's see if we get Wagner, and I think we've made a little bit of a splash here. We'll have signed 4 players in free agency, and that will feel pretty decent. Let's see, what is it? It's April 1st, so we need to go a couple more games, or a couple more. Okay, so we got Wagner. Wagner decided to stick with us. Okay, so that's good. That's good. So now we look at our roster, and we got 35 players on a contract. Still would be good to maybe find a better center. I'm going to look to see if I can't move Oliver and pick up some draft capital. We really could use some more defensive linemen, a starter on the left side, and some depth. So we got some pieces we can maybe look to pick up in the draft and then late free agency. But for now, let's see if anybody wants Oliver and what we might be able to get for him. No indicated interest. Okay. So his contract might be scaring people off. It is a little high, for a 7th-year tight end who may or may not be a starter. But we tried. All right. So going back to salary cap now, we still got a lot of people with a lot of cap. We are down at the bottom, but I feel like we have a decent base. So let's see what we can do in the draft. All right. So let's go to free agency ends. Got a few more days. All right. So now, yeah, we've kind of evened it out. A lot of teams have a lot more players than us, though. So we could have probably done a little bit more damage there and maybe looked at some of the, to fill some backup roles towards the end there. But I also don't want to go too long on these videos. All right, so 5th-year extension day. Let's check that. All right, 5th-year extensions. I don't have any 5th-year extensions, so I don't need to do that. All right, so we're going to roll to the amateur draft. And so that, I think, is where we'll pick it up next episode. And we'll take a look at what we can do in the draft. All right? We'll see you next time. Bye.